It's time for our next Disney World staycation.
And this isn't even a Disney hotel.
Hey there, man fam. We are back with the next Disney staycation, this time at the Walt Disney World Swan.
The Swan is part of the Swan and Dolphin Resort here, but it is all on Walt Disney World Resort property, and it is treated like a Walt Disney World Resort, so we are headed to check out all of the dining, the rooms, and see if this is somewhere you want to stay on your next vacation.
Let's go.
The Walt Disney World Swan opened up in 1990, which was partly Disney's response to people saying they didn't have enough convention center space and they wanted to capture that audience. And by they, I specifically mean Michael Eisner. They are owned and operated by the Westin Hotel Group, but as I said, they do get the perks of being a Walt Disney World Deluxe Resort. And when you see what the price for the room is, that's pretty interesting information. For this hotel property, Michael Eisner asked famed architect Michael Graves to design them. And in 2007, the Walt Disney World Swan and Dolphin were voted number 70 on a list of the top 150 architecture projects selected by the American public, which is pretty impressive, I'm not gonna lie. And these hotels are distinctly known for the large swans on top of the swan and dolphins on top of the dolphin, which if you were like me as a kid, very confused why it was a fish and not flipper, but it's because it's the dolphin, the fish, like mahi-mahi, not dolphin like the mammal. These swans are 47 feet tall and each weigh 60,000 pounds, which is pretty insane.
It's big swan.
All right, well, we just dropped our car off with valet and our luggage with Bell Services, but before we head into the lobby to check in, just wanted to give a big thank you to the team at the Walt Disney World Swan and Dolphin for reaching out and hosting us on this stay. This has been one that the Mam Fam has requested frequently, so excited to show you all around.
All right, now let us step inside the lobby. I love on the elevator, or not the elevator, the entryway, revolving doors, the plant life. That's neat. These always terrify me. You just have to commit. You just have to commit. And here we are inside of the lovely lobby of the Swan. I love all the flowers, the fresh flowers that they have out. At least I assume they're fresh flowers. Wow. Molly here being a flower tester. They are not fresh flowers, but they are beautiful. I don't want to take that away. Now, right off the bat, you're going to notice the difference in size from the Swan to the Dolphin. The Swan is smaller. In fact, it has half as many rooms as the Dolphin has, but within the lobby you're going to find the Disney Planning Center and gift shop, the beautiful aforementioned floral setup, the check-in desks, and one of my personal favorite things, the Swan Fountain. And if you take a look around, specifically up, you will see these beautiful murals that were all hand-painted. And just next to the lovely Swan Fountain, you have Java, where you can get coffee, eats, and sweets. And I think I know of one person who will be going there to get something, probably today, probably in the next 10 minutes, who's to say? Maybe right now. On top of the coffee and pastries you can pick up here, you have the little mini markets set up where you can get some snacks, chips, looks like some adult beverages, candies, and the like. They have a nice little beverage cooler, and what I'm really looking forward to are the hot sandwiches. Now, if you want a lighter bite, they also have some salads, and if you want to feel healthy, you can pick up some fresh pressed juices and detox, energize, or provide yourself some antioxidants. Okay, so we have picked up a bite to eat, and the table is very steady, courtesy of Molly. I have picked up the cut hot sandwich. This is made with thinly sliced Angus roast beef, arugula, wilted spinach, grilled red onions, aged white cheddar, a wasabi aioli on a ciabatta bun. Molly has picked up a curry chicken salad on a multi-grain croissant, also cold brew. And I picked up a strawberry banana smoothie. I'm very excited to give it a try.
One thing I do want to point out is that they did have mobile order through their app. There's a Swan and Dolphin app you can get, and I would recommend it because it's got all the information you need for these two properties. Also know that I said this is a Westin, which it is, but that's under Marriott. It's one of the subsidiaries, so both the Swan and Dolphin are under the Marriott umbrella. So if you've got the Marriott Bonvoy, like points, you can use those. There's a check-in line for you. So if you're a Marriott member, these hotels have some things you might enjoy. But cheers. We've got a lot to eat today, and it's hot outside, so I wanted something cold. And I love chicken salad. This is fantastic. The croissant is very delicious. It's not as flaky as maybe I'd want a croissant, but I like the multi-grain texture on top. The chicken salad is excellent. Big chunks of chicken, nice and smooth, and then it has that curry flavor coming through, making it a little unique. This is very tasty. I'm gonna wash it down with my cold brew, which has some coconut milk in it. Ooh, that's delicious.
Cheers. That's better than it has any business being, if I'm being honest. The thinly shaved beef falls apart. I love the addition of the wilted spinach and arugula. It makes it a little bit earthy, and it helps offset some of the richness of the beef. But really what shines through is the wasabi aioli that has that little like pungent flavor on the back of your throat and in your nose. It's not super spicy, but it is pungent and it helps cut through a lot of the richness of the beef. All on the crusty ciabatta bread. Yeah, that's, again, better than it has any business being. And now for a smoothie. You know what, folks? That's a strawberry banana smoothie. No more, no less.
Overall, I think for this being their kind of quick service grab and go coffee shop situation, definitely elevated from what you might expect at a theme park hotel. Snack and coffee consumed. Now we're headed to check out the Disney gift shop. I will say one thing about these hotels is, again, they're not owned by Disney, so it does not feel like a Disney hotel in the same sense. It definitely feels like a more adult hotel, lots of people working, lots of space to work in as well. But there is a Disney merchandise shop, as well as a Disney planning desk if you need to buy tickets or speak to a Disney advisor. But we're going to check out what's in here in the Disney Planning Center and gift shop. All right, we've got the yearly collection, some of the classic Mickey collection. I really like this red, yellow, black Mickey's color palette collection. Alan bought this sweatshirt in Disneyland, which means I have this sweatshirt from Disneyland. Pretty good ear selection. And they've also got things like swimsuits, some sundry items, mugs, snacks, autograph books, etc. So pretty standard Disney gift shop with a pretty good variety. And as always with any good hotel gift shop, they have some over-the-counter medicines and things in case you forgot them.
I just want to take a moment to acknowledge these mugs. Mickey, it's all good.
I'm awake-ish.
Oh, yeah.
See you latte. It's a beautiful day.
Brutal.
And Donald says, wake up or don't. Up to you.
Don't.
I hope you do wake up.
Sometimes.
Eventually, always, I hope.
Continuing our walkabout, we have happened upon Chill frozen drinks, where they have some specialty cocktails, some non-alcoholic bevies, and I'm sorry, Dippin' Dots? Well, now I know what I'm going to be doing later. There are 3 sit-down restaurants at the Swan. You have Il Molino, New York, which is an Italian restaurant. You have Garden Grove, which has your standard American fare, and Kimonos for Japanese food, including sushi, which makes me quite excited. I also hear tell of a karaoke situation. Means empty orchestra. Thank you, Molly, for that deep cut reference. Now we are going to be going to 2 of these 3 locations for dinner this evening, but I did want to take a quick look at the pastry window here next to Garden Grove. That's right, this is a window that has a live peek into the chefs as they are working, creating delicious pastries and beautiful pastries. Look at these cakes. Oh my gosh.
I should note that Garden Grove used to have a character dining on some days. It no longer does, but one of the huge perks of staying at the Swan is not only do you get access to the Dolphin and the Swan Reserve and their dining, but you're also very, very close walking distance from the Yacht Beach and Boardwalk. So if you're a foodie, the possibilities are basically endless, and you could very easily go to Cape May Cafe for the character breakfast over at the Beach Club, which is excellent.
Okay, and we're continuing our walkabout. I've just stepped outside. We have a beautiful view looking over to the Dolphin Hotel, and you have this nice little waterfront area where you can, rent a swan boat where you can pedal. I'm sure both of us will pedal when the time comes for us to drive that swan boat.
We're doing that in the morning.
We're doing that in the morning? And I will have assistance pedaling? Okay, well, you also have some hammocks if you'd like to relax and luxuriate, and then there is the pool area and fitness center located in this direction. I should note that the bigger pool area is over at the Dolphin. That's going to have your slide and things like that. But while you are a guest at the Swan, you have access to both the pool here that we are staying now and over at the Dolphin. So that's good to know. In addition to your standard pool amenities in that it is, well, a pool, you also have cabanas for rent. There is a playground and a volleyball court for those of you who would like to, instead of relaxing and luxuriating, exert yourself and become sweaty in the sand. And I love that for you. Dear viewer, you might have noticed that Molly turned back and gave a diabolical grin just a moment ago, and that is because she informed me she's going to be attempting to get inside of this hammock. Molly, Known for grace. Well done. Now get out. No? You're just
Okay.
staying there the rest of the time?
I'll wait here till our dinner reservation.
I'll just go finish the rest of the walk.
Share the pool bar and the gym.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get out the whole time.
Oh, well, true. That is going to take you a second.
I'm trying to rock.
Do you need help?
To rock me?
Here you go.
Oh, yeah.
Gonna rock you, mama,
want
like
to.
a wagon wheel. Rock you, mama, any way you feel.
So we're going to sing it karaoke
Rock
later?
me, mama, like the wind and the rain. Rock me, mama, like a southbound train. I will not be singing at
Little
karaoke.
Old Crow medicine show.
I will not be singing at karaoke, but I was glad I was able to give you some rocking assistance.
Okay, I'm going to try to get out now.
All right, here we go. Ready? Dear judges, she is going to attempt to dismount. Whoa! Wow, it was a lot more smooth than I thought it would be. Nice little, like a 9 out of 10 there.
You've got some other outdoor activities here like ping pong, billiards, and of course, people soup. You've also got the splash pool bar right here where they've got a variety of drinks, frozen, sodas, etc. And then you also can order at the pool chairs. You can scan a QR code and order food if you'd like food from the pool bar, which is over at the dolphin side, but they'll bring it right to your chair. And they've got things like wings, pizzas, burgers, sandwiches. So that's a nice little amenity. Or it'd be very easy to grab something from Java in their grab and go and bring it out to the pool area. We have decided to pick up a beer which is called Fins and Feathers, but it's spelled fins like the second half of dolphins, because this is an exclusive beer made just for the Swan and Dolphin, and you can see the logo is like a dolphin and a bird, but it's a dolphin, the mammal, not the fish. I'm getting mixed messages about the mascots here. But anyway, this pale ale is made just for them, and there's even a pub over at the Dolphin that serves it amongst other beers. And don't worry, Dolphin fans, we are going to do a full video on just the Dolphin, exploring all of their rooms and dining and pool area and stuff, but we're keeping this one mostly to the Swan. But so excited to try this beer. Well, we're just going to be backlit, otherwise we like people behind us, and we don't want that. All right, cheers. As a tasty beer.
Pale ale.
Yep. Crispy, a little citrusy. In fact, I'm going to also get a cup, and I'm going to ask for an orange.
Oh, look at us, we're not as backlit anymore.
Look at now we're the camera
You've been going on a journey with us,
has
viewer.
a mind of its own.
It does.
This is kind of what I wanted, because then you can still see the iconic dolphin.
Yeah.
Like that, I feel like everyone that's been to Disney World knows the looks of these buildings, even if you've never been in them.
You're like, look at that triangle one.
Yeah, look at that triangle one. And as a kid, I remember being like, look at that fish. Why is
Yeah.
it not Flipper?
It's a dolphin, like the mahi
Yeah,
mahi.
but again, mixed messages.
all technically dolphins.
True. Can we agree though that the mammal is better?
Yeah, for sure. I'm aligned with
They're
that.
kind of jerks,
Oh yeah, but yeah.
but I like dolphins better than fish. Although, I've never eaten dolphin the mammal, and I have eaten dolphin the fish, and it's delicious.
Mahi mahi is delicious. Oh, look at us. Now we're back to being dark.
I've never gone fishing for the mammal, but I have gone fishing for the fish.
I look like I'm in the witness protection program.
Like when you watch those
Yeah.
documentaries on like A&E about gangs, and they like don't want to reveal their identity, but then you'd also have to talk with
Yeah,
the voice
we'd have to
changer.
really have a deep voice changer going on.
This has really gone off the rails. Anyway, remember the movie Flipper?
Yes,
Do you know that I loved Elijah Wood?
I do know that. Isn't he the one you sent a letter to?
Yeah.
Not Elijah Wood. You sent a letter to his character.
Sandy is his
Sandy.
name. Yeah, I did. I sent a letter to Sandy telling him I loved him.
That is a decision that you made.
I was like 7.
Well, it's, adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who did you love when you were 7, ma'am? Fam, let us know.
Also located next to the pool is the health center, and I have to say it is a pretty well-equipped fitness and health center. You have a whole host of machines, not just cardio machines, but also fitness equipment this is very well stocked, and they have some free weights available and a couple of benches too.
I would say the biggest perk of staying at the Swan and Dolphin is the location. I already mentioned that you're very close to Yacht Beach and Boardwalk. And when I say very close, I mean like those are boardwalk rooms right there, that yellow and red building. that's the boardwalk. If you look over this bridge right here, you can see that pale yellow building. That's Atlantic Dance Hall. So you're incredibly close to the boardwalk, and then Yacht and Beach are over on the other side of the lake this way. Because of that, you're also very close to Epcot. It's about a 10 or so minute walk, as well as Disney's Hollywood Studios is about a 15 or so minute walk from here. If you don't feel like walking, they do have the water taxi right here that will take you to both Epcot, dropping you off at International Gateway back in between the United Kingdom and France pavilions of World Showcase. The boat also goes to Disney's Hollywood Studios. You could also, if you wanted to, walk to the back of International Gateway and take the Skyliner over to Hollywood Studios if you wanted to ride that, which also adds the options of going to Riviera, Caribbean Beach for more dining options. To get to the other parks in Disney Springs, there are buses, but note, because this is not a Walt Disney World hotel, they do not drop you off in as prime of locations as the Disney bus drop-offs. For Disney Springs, they're going to drop you off on the west side, which is all the way on one hard direction down by Cirque du Soleil, which is a pretty far walk if you're going somewhere like World of Disney in the Marketplace. And for Magic Kingdom, they're going to take you to the Transportation and Ticket Center, which then means to get to the park, you will need to board the ferry boat or the monorail. Honestly, that is a con of staying here because going to the Transportation and Ticket Center is a huge time suck. You can take a minivan, which is Disney's partnership with Lyft on property only, and that will drop you off right at the very front of Magic Kingdom. Just know that minivans are pretty expensive. I looked just now, and a regular Lyft to Magic Kingdom's Transportation and Ticket Center would be $9, and a minivan to the front of the park would be $39. But if you're trying to rope drop or get there for a particular thing and you want to be on time, minivan's not a terrible idea. Speaking of the parks, though, there are some park-related perks of staying at the Swan and Dolphin. For starters, like the Walt Disney World hotels, you do get early entry into the parks, which is all 4 parks every day currently. You can get in 30 minutes early and you qualify at the Swan or Dolphin. You also, because these are considered deluxe resorts, qualify for extended evening hours, which is a huge perk of staying here. Typically, it's Magic Kingdom or Epcot, but sometimes they throw in Hollywood Studios or Animal Kingdom. They're open select nights for several hours after the park closes, only to deluxe and villa guests, meaning you can ride a lot of very popular attractions without worrying about Lightning Lane and without much wait time. You can check out our video we did on Magic Kingdoms if you'd like more info on that. And speaking of Lightning Lanes, these are considered Walt Disney World resorts in the sense that you do qualify for that 7-day pre-arrival booking window, which is what the Walt Disney World hotels get, meaning you can book all of your Lightning Lanes, including your fancy rides, for your entire trip 7 days out from your check-in day. That is a huge perk, as often fancy rides are not even available to guests not staying at Disney property. For more information on Lightning Lanes and everything I'm saying, if that sounds like a foreign language, definitely check out our 2025 Lightning Lane guide to break all of that down for you. So ultimately, staying here with the price you're about to see can present some very, very good perks when it comes to going to the theme parks.
All right, we are headed up to our room now. We are on the East Wing. I'm
That's
excited.
good because you're not supposed to go to the West Wing. The beast gets very mad. And he says, "Roar! I'm the master of this castle! Roar!" Just like that.
You know what, Molly, you're not wrong. He does say it just like that. Now, for those of you who are missing that reference, that is a cut from Beauty and the Beast live on stage at Disney's Hollywood Studios.
I am the master of this castle.
All right, and here we are. We have arrived. We have not arrived. I don't know how math works any longer. Okay.
Because this one is
Yeah, why is the odd number on the left side? I don't know. I don't know what to do. Here, I'm gonna just, okay. My brain's broken right now. Ooh. She's so fancy. There's a... They made us a mammoth? That's so sweet of them. Oh my gosh. Listen, mammoth's not... It is... It's 1,000% a mammoth. I feel inclined to tell you mammoth's not included nor guaranteed, but this is so cute!
All right, it's time for a rapid fire. I'm just gonna knock over the lamps, it's fine.
I promise I'm not. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I just wanted to open the window. I didn't mean that. I just wanted to bring in some natural light.
All right, it's time for our rapid fire room tour. Take 2. This is a king with a balcony room. It's one of the, I guess technically a smaller suite that they booked us in, and it's beautiful, so let's take a look. First of all, you have this nice living area here with Alan graciously demonstrating the beautiful couch.
And the natural light.
The natural light. Is that a pull-out? Yes.
It is.
Is that?
No, it is not.
All right, so this could pull out to fit 2 more people. And then you also have the king bed. Nice coffee table here, huge TV, tons of natural light. And then over here you have the bedroom area where Alan is sitting at a desk ready to pen a letter. You've got another TV right here for the guests sleeping in the king bed. Over here, we've got our chest of drawers with a couple drawers, coffee maker, fridge, and it seems to be a real fridge, not just a beverage cooler. You've got another chair if you just want to hang out. In the nightstands, we have ice bucket with some waters, as well as, I love this, I love when there's extra plugs and things on the nightstand. And then we have this large bed. Alan?
I know what I must do.
You killed the mammoth!
I'm sorry, friend.
He's dead now.
What have I done? It is comfortable though. This is an easy 9.2.
That's high. That's high. Alan, build him again.
We can rebuild him.
We can rebuild. Can we though?
I don't know if we can.
Do we know how to do towel crafts? With as many cruises as we've been on, you'd think maybe we could learn. No, he has a face. No, but he had a neck.
Okay, well,
You gotta roll it up for his neck.
yeah, definitely. I know what I'm doing.
Do we need to look at the graph?
No. Where's
Here.
the graph?
The pictures I took of it before you killed him.
First of all. Ooh, small. Yeah, that looks the same. No worse for wear. No worse for wear at all.
Yeah, let's do a before and after comparison.
Yeah, that looks.
Is us after going to karaoke tonight at the bar.
I know what you're talking about, Molly. This is identical to what we came in here. Oh, wow. Poor guy had a few too many.
He was at Kimono's late.
Oh, no.
Continuing on into the large bathroom, it does section off. The first section, you've got a sink, you've got an illuminated mirror. Very important here. I'm gonna give it a 6. This is not the strongest hairdryer, but it has an attachment, so I give credit for that, but pretty mid. Robes! Points for robes.
And slippers.
And then you've also got safe ironing board, extra pillows, hangers, etc. Second half of the bathroom, this is your full-length mirror, so you can check out your fit before going to the park. And then you've got another larger sink, another illuminated mirror, toilet, and large walk-in shower with a very nice rainfall shower situation, and definitely not H2O products. But I do like that they have a small version of everything if you want to take it, and a little loofah guy. Actually, all the amenities in the bathroom are pretty good. You've also got a little sewing kit, a nail kit, shaving essentials. I'm taking all of these things. Shoe care, shower cap, cotton wool cleansing kit. Yeah, I'm taking all of this. Lotion, mouthwash, soap. Pretty good as far as the amenities go. And I am like Ross Geller in a hotel room. Love the amenities. Dads, here's that thermostat. And lastly, because we are in this larger room, we have a balcony, which several rooms do, but not all of them. How do I get out? Oh no, the doors are gonna best me once again. Okay, hold on. I can do this. Please okay, this one's open. That one's open. Do I need to do this? Okay, it's gotta be this thing. Help me! Was it open the whole time? I just couldn't do it because of my nails. All right, well, here you have our patio, which has got a little table and a couple of chairs. You can see that, again, several of the rooms have these little patio balconies, and it's got a beautiful view of the Swan and Dolphin property right here. Epcot would be over there, so I don't think we're gonna be able to see fireworks. Some of the rooms, depending on where you are, you could see fireworks, or maybe we could see like a little bit of bursts, but they don't actually advertise the rooms as having fireworks views because it just depends on where your room is sitting. Another perk of these hotels is they do offer room service, which is something that not all of the Disney resorts currently offer, even the deluxe resorts. And they've got things from their different restaurants around the property. So I'm seeing dishes from Kimonos and Il Molino, as well as things like chips and salsa, sandwiches, entrees like burgers and wraps, pizzas, sushi, all kinds of options if you want to just luxuriate and enjoy time in your room. It does include breakfast in the mornings as well. And while room service may not be something everyone wants to indulge in a Disney vacation, there are times where having someone bring your food as you're getting ready, or if it starts raining or something, you just want to luxuriate. It's kind of hard to beat doing it in a robe in a big comfy bed. All right, well, the big question, how much does this room cost? Well, this room, this style of room, tonight with taxes and fees, but without any discounts, $409. This room goes up to $668 the week of Christmas. Just for reference, tonight, without any discount at the Yacht Club, a standard room would have been upwards of $650. Now, the least expensive room we could have stayed in tonight would be a 2-queen standard room without a balcony. That would have been $336 tonight without any kind of discount, but including taxes and fees. However, with an annual pass discount, we could have stayed in that room for $280. Christmas week, that same room goes up to $585 without any kind of discount, or $487 with an annual pass discount. So as you can see, cost-wise, it is quite a bit less than the standard rooms at the neighboring Disney deluxe hotels. And while you are giving up, again, the Disney theming, there's not a lick of Disney inside this room. It doesn't feel very Disney in the lobby. It feels very much just like a nice Marriott hotel. You are still getting huge perks that go with the Disney Deluxe hotels. So it's kind of all about what's important to you. And again, if you're a Marriott Rewards member, you can use that for discounts, points to reserve rooms, etc., etc. There.
I don't know what you're talking about. He's fine. He's fine. He's just as good as before. All right. I personally think that the resort thus far and this room is beautiful. It certainly, as you mentioned, doesn't have all that overt Disney theming, but I think it's all about trade-offs. If you and your family don't necessarily need that and you want to have a room that has a great price, great view, great location, this has been great so far. What are your thoughts?
So far, so good. I've actually never stayed at the Swan and Dolphin, but I've been multiple times. And one thing I do love about it, and I know a lot of people love about it, is all the food options, especially for foodies, which means we actually need to go get, dressed because we have a progressive dinner to get to.
Boy, oh boy, do we.
So much food.
I'm so excited. We're going to be so full. All right. Time for dinner.
Let's go.
First up, we have Kimonos. This is a top-rated sushi restaurant by the Orlando Sentinel readers, and on the menu, you can see a whole variety of Asian cuisine, starting with soups and salads like the kimchi jjigae, which is a traditional kimchi soup, a cucumber crab salad miso soup, and then starters, you have seared tuna, crispy pan-seared rice, some gyoza buns. They have a selection of sushi rolls, including their own signature rolls, alongside some maki rolls, or if you wanted to pick nigiri and sashimi, you can do that as well. And taking a look at their drink menu, they have a selection of specialty cocktails like the Isle of Nabomu and the Japanese highball, which I think Molly will be getting later. And alongside that, you have some beers, bubbles, rosé, white and red wines, and some sakes. Ooh! And I love that we have a selection of listed whiskeys, including Japanese malt whiskeys. Reservations are strongly encouraged, and if you would like to make one, you will not be making it through the My Disney Experience app. You are going to be making it through OpenTable, and that applies for all of the restaurants at the Swan and Dolphin. For my drink, I picked up the Hausen Matsu. This is made with Legion Whiskey, Dow's 10-year tawny port, turbinado, simple syrup, and orange flower blossom water. I'm just here to tell you folks, this drink was very powerful. It was incredibly strong, but after the first sip, you get a very floral taste. There's a little bit of bitterness as a sort of a final note to the drink, and my gosh, was this very complex, but super balanced. I think if you are into complex cocktails and trying something that pushes you out of your comfort zone, this is gonna be for you. But if you want something that's a little bit more standard, I would say pick something else.
Like perhaps the Japanese highball, which was made with Suntory Toki whiskey, Fee Brothers orange bitters, and soda water. A highball is a very classic Japanese cocktail that I enjoyed many times in Japan, often out of a can, where it's just the Suntory whiskey and the soda water. But I liked the orange bitters in there, adding a little bit of brightness, a little citrus. Normally they just garnish it with an orange if you order it at a bar, but I thought this was a fun, slight twist on a classic. If you like Japanese whiskey, it's hard to go wrong with a highball. Since we're doing a little bit of a progressive meal this evening, we are just doing starters here at Kimono's, and I grabbed the crispy Japango chicken. This is served with Japanese seasoned rice and a spicy gochujang sauce. This was pretty good. The chicken was very, very crispy. I wouldn't say it was super spicy, but you can certainly taste that gochujang, which is a fermented pepper sauce. A little bit of a peppery heat and subtle sweetness there. It does linger, so if you're spice adverse, I would not go for this option. They also had a fried chicken option that was similar to a teriyaki I would recommend. I will say the chicken was a little bit drier at times, but overall this was a very good crowd-pleasing dish.
Now, I simply could not pass by the opportunity to have sushi, especially when you have sushi chefs making it fresh in front of you. And I picked up the jalapeno roll. This is made with spicy tuna, yellowtail, jalapeno, and then a tempura crunch. Here's what I want to say. The fish was incredibly fresh. Absolutely zero fishy smell or flavor. It tasted very rich. The tempura crunch adding a little bit of textural contrast, the jalapeno on top, giving it a bright, grassy spiciness. This was an incredibly balanced roll. It is spicy, so if you're spice averse, this isn't going to be for you, but if you are a sushi lover, I cannot recommend getting something here enough. So much so that I wanted to just test the quality of the fish, and I ordered some tuna sashimi, and it came with 3 pieces. And they were very healthy portions. The fish itself was very fresh. I was not disappointed whatsoever. It was nice and rich, and again, the portion size, more than I was anticipating. Very good.
Next stop, we are headed to Il Mulino New York Trattoria, which is a classic Italian restaurant, and it is...
Ristorante.
You're right. You're so right. I really fumbled that one. Ristorante. Excuse me, where you're gonna find classic antipasti, gotta make sure to say the right words here, such as calamari, meatballs, and carpaccio. There's a variety of insalate as well, including a caprese or a classic Caesar, zuppa, including minestrone, a pizza pie, I don't know. That one just says pizza. And then a variety of pastas, including spaghetti, linguine, and a couple of risottos. And as far as your meats go, you have griglia, which is from the grill, some steaks and a pork chop. Pollo, which I know I just said in a Spanish accent, but I can't say that word otherwise, including chicken parmesan, vitello, which is veal, including a veal parmesan, some pesce, which is your fish like a branzino. Then you've got sides you can add on, or contorni, including things like broccoli or garlic bread. Also, they have family-sized portions, which you have to have a party of 4 or more if you wanted to do a big family-style Italian meal. Taking a look at the dessert menu, you have traditional Italian desserts, dolce, if you will, such as gelato, tiramisu, a variety of sorbets, and a flourless chocolate cake. On the drink menu at Il Mulino, unsurprisingly, they have a huge wine list, as well as a variety of beers and specialty cocktails, featuring different Italian liqueurs and cocktails, including things like an Amalfi Spritz or a Paloma. Also, one thing I should note about dining at these restaurants is that there are a few restaurants on property that adults, you can take your kids to Club Dolphin for free if you are eating at one of the signature restaurants and you want to keep it adults only, which I think is nice. Should also note that both Kimono's and Il Mulino have a lounge. If you're not looking to eat and you just want to go pop in at the bar and have one of those cocktails, you are welcome to do that without a reservation or without sitting down in the restaurant. Our meal at Il Mulino started with a little complimentary bread and olive oil, as well as an eggplant and salami gift from the kitchen. This was fantastic. You had a little bit of Parmesan cheese on top of the marinated eggplant, which obviously you have to like to enjoy this, but it was a very fun bread service. to kick the meal off. As far as cocktails go, I went for the Amalfi Spritz, which was made with Ketel One Citron vodka, limoncello, prosecco, fresh lemon, and simple syrup, which I asked them to go light on. This was a goblet of a cocktail, and a very healthy cocktail at that. It was fantastic. One of the better fruity, light, bright cocktails I've had on Disney property, honestly. It wasn't too sweet because I asked them to go lighter on that simple syrup, and you could distinctly taste that limoncello flavor, but it was balanced nicely with the vodka and prosecco. I would 100% order this again.
And for me, I picked up the Il Salvatore. This is made with Whistle Pig, Swando Icon Reserve Rye Whiskey, Angostura bitters, Orgeat, fresh lemon, and then it is smoked with cherry wood. And there is a cherry inside. Folks, this is a one and done for me, but not because it's bad, but it's because it's outside of my normal flavor profile. This was very much like a whiskey sour has met a whiskey punch. It had a very complex bit of flavors. You had a little bit of tartness, you had the smoky flavor coming through from the wood, you had a little bit of sweetness from the cherry syrup that's added inside, and you had some of a nuttiness coming from the Orgeat. I think if you are a fan of whiskey sours, then this is going to be right up your alley. But when I was expecting more of an old-fashioned, this one threw me for a loop on my first taste. Now for our appetizer, we received this recommendation many times from our servers, and they said they were testing this dish out, and I'm just here to tell you, boy, do I hope they keep this on the menu. This is the melanzane ricotta. This is pan-fried eggplant with an herb ricotta filling, vodka sauce, Parmesan crunch, and basil oil. This is rolled eggplant, and it was cooked perfectly. Still a little firm, very crispy, and I love eggplant, and this was a great use of it. The vodka sauce on top was light, bright, a little bit acidic, and I love the addition of the basil oil, adding that nice herbaceous freshness over top of it. This was an incredible dish. I loved it for an appetizer. It came with 2 rolls, one for each Molly and I. I'm not going to lie to you, I could have probably had this as an entree and had at least 3 to myself.
For entrees, there was only one section of the menu I was drawn to because I have been craving pasta for weeks, and boy, am I glad I held out to this one. This was the rigatoni con funghi, which is rigatoni pasta with wild mushrooms, spicy cherry peppers, garlic, and truffle oil. Y'all, this was so good. It was simple but elevated at the same time because it wasn't an abundance of ingredients, but each one mattered. It had those delicious earthy mushrooms and then a little bit of slight spicy heat from those peppers, a little bit of luxury with the truffle oil on top, which has such a distinct flavor. And then of course, I had them add Parmesan cheese and black pepper. It was excellent. They said this was their #1 pasta, and I can see why. 10 out of 10, no notes. Also though, you could add protein if you wanted to, like a chicken or shrimp or a sausage.
No, you won't put chicken in my fettuccine.
I obviously didn't go for that route and just went for the carbs.
I also went the pasta route, and I apologize to anyone who can speak or at least understands Italian because I'm about to butcher this pronunciation. I got the tonorelli alla amatriciana. This is handmade tonorelli pasta, one of the 2 pastas that they make in-house. Spicy tomato basil sauce, pancetta, red onion, locatelli romano, and a cheese caper focaccia crumble. I also, as Molly mentioned, had Parmesan and black pepper on top, and I asked if they could put some Italian sausage as a protein, and I am glad that I did. Now, I have to be honest, normally I don't go for a red sauce when it comes to pasta because I think it is so easy to do poorly and very difficult to do well. And I just want to give my compliments to the chef and the entire culinary team because I think they executed this red sauce so well because it had a nice bit of spice to it, some crispy garlic throughout that helped add some of that nice pungent spicy garlic flavor. The capers gave it a little bit of brightness and acidity to break up. A lot of that richness coming from the sausage, which was crumbled. It wasn't sliced, it was like pulled apart crumbled sausage meat, which I loved. And then the pasta. You can tell this is fresh and made in-house, very light, bright. It still had enough chew to hold up to being wrapped around the fork a couple of times. I think this was an incredible dish, and I'm so glad that this is what I chose as my main.
And we couldn't resist adding dessert, and at our server's recommendation, we opted for something I would not have chosen otherwise, the pistachio raspberry opera torte. This was a pistachio sponge cake with a raspberry mousseline, white chocolate pistachio crunch, a raspberry ganache, and Sicilian pistachios. Y'all, this is one of the best desserts I've had at a sit-down restaurant in Walt Disney World. Normally at sit-down restaurants, I'm like, can take or leave the dessert and would rather have something like a simple ice cream cone. But this was fantastic. It had a nice crunch because of the pistachios, which almost tasted wafer-like, a slight natural sweetness because of those raspberries. It was a perfect portion, perfectly balanced, a little saltiness from the nuts. This was a 10 out of 10 dessert. I would absolutely recommend this. That was so delicious.
Yeah, dinner was very, very good, and the progressive dinner was also quite nice. The sushi.
What was your favorite thing?
Oh gosh.
I know, it's a hard question. It's a hard question.
Okay, my favorite thing at Kimonos.
No, overall. Your loophole in it.
No. You do this all the time.
I do.
No.
I do.
Enough out of you, madam. My favorite thing was at Kimonos was the sushi roll, and my favorite thing that we had at
El Molino.
Yeah, El Molino. Your pasta.
Yeah, my pasta was my favorite thing we had all night, but that eggplant was excellent.
Oh, so
As
good.
was that dessert.
I was so surprised
Yeah.
with the pistachio dessert.
And the drinks we had across the board were great.
Yeah.
Also, we did not finish the pasta, full disclosure, but we brought it back and we have a fridge here. There's also a microwave in with the ice maker, so we can heat that up later.
Yeah, it's a communal microwave situation, which means
Don't
don't
heat
microwave
up fish.
Thank
Anyway,
you for attending our PSA.
we're gonna heat up pasta there later after we go to karaoke.
Do you like how we were both unplanned, very angry about heating up fish?
Everyone's been to an office where someone heats up fish and it's diabolical.
And you're like, halibut.
You're like, who did this? Shirley? Again?
Why?
So, be
Don't do
courteous. We're gonna eat up pasta. We're gonna go to karaoke. So come with us.
Yeah. And now we are headed back to Kimonos because, as I mentioned earlier, they have karaoke. And as Molly mentioned earlier, it means empty orchestra.
It's hauntingly beautiful.
That's what people say about my singing voice.
Karaoke is quite fun here because it's the only place in Disney World that has karaoke. So it is a tried and true tradition from a lot of folks staying at the Swan and Dolphin or the surrounding resorts, and a fun thing to do if you're an adult looking for a little bit more of late night entertainment. Also, it's fun that there is karaoke because we're at Walt Disney World, there's not a ton of late night entertainment. So if you're an adult looking for some extra fun, look no further, especially, perhaps after an Epcot afternoon or evening.
And when you get the chance, you are the dancing queen. You'll get started only 17. Heartbreak is one thing, my ego's another. I beg you don't embarrass me, mother. Please, please, please. Honey, my back is killing me. I need to relax and watch TV. Get off the phone, give the dog a bone. Hey, hey, honey, I'm home. I don't wanna close my eyes. I don't wanna fall asleep 'cause I miss you, babe. And I don't wanna miss a thing 'cause even when I dream of you.
Good morning. Well, karaoke was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was actually more fun than I thought it would be. I didn't know how turned up it would be on a Monday night, but there were a lot of people there singing, having a good time.
It feels like there were a few regulars, and then
Yeah.
there were a lot of children who were competing in either a dance or a cheer competition who had
Yes.
found their way to karaoke.
You know what?
Good
Some
for
of them
them.
weren't bad.
Yeah, I agree.
Some of them weren't bad. They had good song selection.
They did,
And
yes.
ultimately, that's the most important thing at karaoke
Yeah.
is song selection. Because
Yeah.
they picked like Sabrina Carpenter and stuff.
And match the vibe.
And
Don't bring the vibe down.
That's the rule of karaoke.
Don't make a selection and bring the vibe down.
I try to think what the worst karaoke song probably is. It's something slow and sad.
Blood on the Saddle?
No, that's an A+ karaoke song. I'm thinking of something like... No, I can't even say that song.
My Heart Will Go On?
No, that Rascal Flatts song about that little girl.
Oh my god.
Like something like that, or like the Alan Jackson song about September 11th.
Oh.
Like something like that would be the worst karaoke song. Don't do it. But
Yeah,
drop
don't do
your submission for worst karaoke song down below.
Yeah, and best. Maybe do both. Maybe do
Yeah.
a worst and best.
And now we find ourselves back at Java to get a little coffee and breakfast. In addition to the, lunch style sandwiches that they have, we also noticed they had some breakfast sandwiches in the morning. So they've got like a bacon, egg, and cheese. They've got an egg press with just egg and cheese. A couple of other things. Plus, as we pointed out yesterday, they've got smoothies, pastry items, bagels in that pastry case, as well as coffees and teas. So a lot of good stuff to kind of grab and go to get your morning going. If you want a full-service sit-down breakfast, Garden Grove does have that, but just know they are not open every day for breakfast. Also, I didn't look at these earlier. I'm kind of obsessed with the sippy cups that have the statues on them. Like, those are kind of iconic, right? Those are hilarious, actually. They also have a Pilsner cup you can buy that's got the fins and feathers on it, which is neat. And I also just noticed this sculpture of the fins and feathers logo, which is probably made out of chocolate or something edible by the pastry team. So that's neat. We also got asked this in our DMs yesterday, if you could buy fins and feathers to take home, and you can. You can buy 6-packs or a t-shirt if you are really a loyal fan. But that's kind of a fun take home. I mean, obviously you have to put it in a check bag or be driving, but, and I don't know if you should put, I'm now thinking out loud, I don't know if you should put beer in a checked bag. But if you were driving, you could take this, but don't drink it. I'm really really putting myself in a hole right now. It's a fun take home if you act responsibly with it and you or someone you know enjoys craft beer.
All right, well, after I have taken the camera away from Molly and her questionable advice, we have gotten our breakfast.
So many beverages.
And just so many beverages to start off the morning. I went with the standard sandwich. This is egg, bacon, and cheese on what looks to be a nice bun. I'm going to assume that this is a brioche, but we'll find out later. Then Molly got the egg press.
No, it's eggs press. It's a good joke. It's a good joke.
Molly got the egg express, which is eggs and cheese pressed between an English muffin.
Also,
Coffees. Molly got a sparkle water.
and a regular one.
There's regular water.
Add this liquid IV into.
Yes, because Molly loves to have some electrolytes in the morning. And then I have my Core Power protein beverage.
Very cheesy. Yeah, that's a English muffin with an egg and cheese on it. So nothing exciting. Nothing I would go out of my way to get, but it's well done. And the fact that you could mobile order this and have this as a good grab and go option on your way into the park, that's a win for me. But it's not a standout item. Like I thought lunch yesterday was a little bit more unique, but this will do the job of wanting a quick breakfast.
Cheers. Confirmed. That is a brioche bun. Plenty of egg, lots of bacon, a lot of cheese. It's like a cheddar or Swiss cheese there. This isn't going to knock your socks off, bully out of the water, or whatever turn of phrase you want to use. But it's a solid breakfast. And as Molly mentioned, if that's what you want before you go to a park, this is going to fit that bill. What I will tell you, as someone across staycations, across property, almost every single Disney property at this point, and having ordered a breakfast sandwich at all of them, this one is better than any of the other Disney breakfast sandwiches that I've had at their food courts. So, you know, maybe in the future we'll do like a breakfast sandwich ranking, a hierarchy of breakfast sandwich, but right now this one reigns supreme.
Also, a cute little touch is at Concierge at the desk. They have these postcards. They're complimentary. They have a couple other designs that cast members were telling me coming in as well. Splash you later and wish you were here. But just a fun little take home, or you could send it to someone, or as a pro tip, send it to yourself. That way, when you get home and you have the Disney blues, you have like a little something coming, because who doesn't like fun mail?
Okay, well that brings us to the end of our stay here at the Swan.
Well, not quite, Alan. We've got to ride swan boats after this.
We sure do. But before that, we are going to put our camera away because let's play it safe with this device that is our livelihood. Let's do the pros and cons.
The biggest con, I would say, is that it is a beautiful hotel. It is a nice hotel, but it feels like a Marriott anywhere because it is a Marriott. And if you are coming to Disney property and wanting to stay at a Disney themed hotel, this is not going to be it.
I think for some people it might be a pro. If you're not looking for Disney theming, then this is right up your alley, but I agree. It's certainly not Disney themed by any stretch.
It genuinely feels like a hotel where people are coming to work.
And we've seen a lot of people working
Which
in a
is
very
nice.
nice venue. I think the other con, transportation.
Yeah.
You're going to be dropped off at the Transportation and Ticket Center for Magic Kingdom, and you're going to be taken to the further bus drop-off at Disney Springs.
You know, minor, because you do, on the pro side, have your walking distance to two parks, or you can take a boat to those two parks, or you can take the Skyliner to the studio. So it's kind of just Magic Kingdom at Disney Springs, so it's kind of a trade-off, I guess, as far as that goes with the parks.
Another pro has got to be the food.
That's true.
They have a wide variety on offer that is very high quality. This is not just table service, but also the quick service options too. But about the table service, the food is very, very good. Every time we sat down and ate at one of the restaurants, I was impressed by the quality of food that we received. I really enjoyed it.
Now, I will say none of these restaurants were so unique that I would go out of my way to eat them unless like you really were craving a specific dish like sushi.
Yeah, but I'm never going to be mad if I
That's
am
also
here.
true.
Like if I am here for any event, for any stay, I'm going to be excited that I get to go to one of these
And
restaurants.
eat this pasta. That
Yeah.
is good pasta.
Or sushi.
But the fact that you've got all the restaurants at the Swan, you've got all the restaurants at the Dolphin and the Swan Reserve at your fingertips, plus Yacht Beach Boardwalk, your Skyliner away from Riviera. There are so many food options readily available at your fingertips because of the location.
You're going to find something you'll enjoy. And then I think a big pro, price point.
Yeah, definitely.
If you're looking at the cost of these rooms as it compares to other rooms at the deluxe level on Disney property, it's not even comparable. Frankly, it's at times, certain parts of the season, closer to even a moderate price point. And for what you're getting here in terms of amenities, that's wild.
Yeah, you can get the 7-day Lightning Lane booking, you get the early entry, the extended entry as well. The only thing that I think competes with this as far as price point goes for deluxe resorts is staying at like a DVC rental.
Right.
Which is also why we tell you to stay with them because of all the pros that come with a deluxe resort at a moderate price point. Another pro, this is kind of niche, but if you are a Marriott Points member, a Bonvoy Points member, I know that people love being able to either use points to stay here or earn points to stay here, plus all the perks that come with being a part of that rewards program. So that's just another pro of staying at the Swan and Dolphin.
Yeah, if you're a part of those programs, why not use them? And I just want to give a massive shout out to the team. They were excellent, very kind and helpful throughout our stay here. So big thank you to them.
And a big thank you to the team at the Swan and Dolphin for inviting us and hosting us on this stay. We are going to also do a stay at the Dolphin as well as the new Swan Reserve. So let us know which one of those you'd like to see first, exploring all of their restaurants and their rooms. And we also have another Disney property staycation coming up soon, so you can look forward to that as well.
Yeah, but until next time, friends, please be sure to like this video, subscribe if you are new, follow us on all of our socials, and come join us on Discord. We would love to have you there. The links for that are down below.
And until next time, friends, I'm Molly.
And I'm Alan.
And it's been Swanalicious.
Swantastic was right there.
I know, but I use tastic all the time. I was trying to mix it up, you know?
I guess Dolphin-tastic is better for when we go there.
Yeah.
So yeah, Swanalicious.
Swan amazing. See that?
Swan excellent.
Swanalent? No,
No,
Swantastic.
yeah, Swantastic is where we're at.
Let's go ride those boats.
Your life.